In this video, I'm going to continue going through the principles of miracles, which are at the beginning of chapter 1 in the text of A Course in Miracles. So in my last video, I covered principles of miracles 1 through 6, and today I'm going to be starting with number 7. Miracles are everyone's right, but purification is necessary first. So that doesn't mean that you need to go through some special purification process or anything like that. It's not a mystery. Miracles are everyone's right because we are all the child of God. Because of that, miracles are automatically our right. And it just is who we are. A miracle is simply exposing the truth of who we are. And why do we need purification? Why is that necessary first? Because learning the truth, understanding who we really are, which is the true miracle, is all about taking the blanket of the ego off to reveal what's really underneath. Our true spirit of who we really are is underneath that. So removing that blanket or removing the clouds from in front of the sun, if the clouds are our ego and the sun is our true spirit, that is the purification that's needed, the purification of the ego. The unwinding of the ego, the unwinding of the basically brainwashing that we have received all of our lives from the ego to make us believe or make us think that we are separate. We're separate from one another and we are separate from God. But that's not true. So that's the purification that's needed, is the undoing of the ego mind, the undoing of the ego thoughts to expose the miracle that's just waiting there all along for all of us. Number 8, miracles are healing because they supply a lack. They are performed by those who temporarily have more for those who temporarily have less. Okay, so miracles are healing because they supply a lack. What is that lack? That lack is lack of truth, lack of knowledge. The truth and knowledge that we are lacking is that we are spirit. We are the one child of God. We are one with God. We have all the same creation powers as God. We are God. We are one. So that is the truth. That is what we are discovering. And that is the lack that humanity in general has, is that we believe that we are separate. We believe that we lack love and lack God and lack spirit. But it's not true. So those of us who know the truth, or at least a part of us knows the truth, right? Because a lot of times we're oscillating back and forth throughout our day, each day, ego, spirit, ego, spirit, ego, spirit. It's all a mind training. It's all about what we choose to focus on. And so that's why people who have started to uncover the miracles within themselves, started to release the ego and find the truth of who they really are. When we do that, because we are all one and we are all connected, as soon as an example, if I have an aha moment where I really feel the truth of who I really am and I remember the truth of who I really am, that feeling, that knowing automatically goes into the entire consciousness of humanity. So as we remember who we really are, we are supplying that knowledge, we are filling that lack, that need within the rest of humanity because we are all one. We're all connected. Unconsciously, all of our minds are connected. So when one of us remembers the truth, we are giving that to everyone. Okay? So that is how we are supplying a lack that others appear to have in those moments when we remember the truth. They are performed by those who temporarily have more for those who temporarily have less. So all that means is that in a moment, if I remember the truth, in that moment, I temporarily appear to have more because I remembered the truth of who I am. So I'm full, I'm whole. And when I do that, and because all of our minds are connected as one, and because that unconsciously sends that knowledge to all the other minds, I, in that moment, when I temporarily remember who I am reminding the people who temporarily forgot who they really are. That's what that means. And all that temporary part is because being here in these bodies, thinking that we are these ego minds, is temporary. Who we really are in spirit, which is just love, which is just God vibration, love, source energy, creation, that's who we really are. That's been there all along. So in certain moments when we forget that, we temporarily have a lack, but it's only temporary because we only appear to be here in a separate body for a temporary period of time. Now, the purpose of this course is that we don't want to have to wait until we are no longer in a body to know the truth about who we really are. We want to accomplish it while we're in a body. I won't go fully into that now, but there's a lot more learning that occurs when we can awaken in a body versus out of a body. It's a lot more progress for our soul's awakening. Number 9, miracles are a kind of exchange. Like all expressions of love, which are always miraculous in their true sense, or in the true sense, the exchange reverses the physical laws. They bring more love both to the giver and the receiver. So what does that mean? Well, in the physical laws, if I have a bunch of apples right here in my hands, and I want to give some to you, okay, so let's say I have 5 apples and I want to give 3 to you. It appears that I am losing something in order to give to you. Those are the physical laws that we have in this physical ego-made world. If you give something to someone, you then have less. Those are the physical laws. But those are not the laws of our spirit. Those are not the laws of our mind. So that's what this miracle is explaining to us. That miracles are a kind of exchange, okay, like I was describing in the principle above, that when we give, when we have a moment where we remember who we truly are, we are giving that to the collective because we have one mind. So miracles are a kind of exchange. If I remember who I really am, I am then giving that love to the collective because we are all connected. Our minds are connected as one. There really is only one ego mind and one spirit mind. We are all one. Like all expressions of love, which are always miraculous in the true sense, okay, because that's all that exists is love. Nothing else is real. That's the miracle right there. The exchange reverses the physical laws, meaning if I remember who I really am and that knowledge goes into the collective, that in itself is reversing the physical law of if I give, I then am giving something away, or I have a lack, or I have less than. In that moment where I remember who I am, and it helps everyone remember who they are, because all minds are connected, we are bringing more love to both the giver and the receiver. So in that moment, more love comes to me because I remember who I really am, and more love comes to everyone in the collective because our minds are joined. And it's a little reminder in that moment to their unconscious mind of who and what they really are, which is love. Number 10, the use of miracles as spectacles to induce belief is a misunderstanding of their purpose. So that's just a fancy way of saying if people go around going, ooh, watch me perform a miracle because I'm so special, you've missed the purpose of what a miracle is. Number 11. Prayer is the medium of miracles. It is a means of communication of the created with the creator. Through prayer, love is received, and through miracles, love is expressed. All right, prayer is the medium of miracles. Well, prayer is basically just thought, right? It's thought that is for God. It's thought dedicated to God. It is us speaking to God. God is just an energy vibration of pure source creation. So when we pray, we are aligning ourselves with that frequency. We are aligning ourselves with that energy of pure source creation. So when we do that, when we're aligning with that energy, we are now aligned with miracles. We are now in alignment with God. And that is what prayer is. It's that open communication with God, source, creation. It is a means of communication of the created with the creator. We are the created. We were created by the creator. So it's a way for us to speak to God or the creator. Through prayer, love is received, and through miracles, love is expressed. Okay, so through prayer, love is received. So when we connect with God and we join with that source creation energy, we are receiving the love of God. When we do that, we can feel it. We're in that flow of that energy. So when we're in the flow of that energy, we can feel it, we can receive it, and we can feel God's love. And through miracles, love is expressed. So we can then pass it on. So if we receive love from God because we align with the frequency of source creation, and then we express it to others in our life, it doesn't have to be people. It can be animals, plants, environment, things that you make, art, whatever. It doesn't matter. As long as you're passing that love on, a miracle is then being expressed. Number 12, miracles are thoughts. Thoughts can represent the lower or bodily level of experience or the higher or spiritual level of experience. One makes the physical and the other creates the spiritual. All right, well, this is a pretty helpful reminder because it's telling us that miracles are thoughts. That's how we get miracles, is through our mind, through our thoughts. You know, again, I'm pointing to the brain, but really our mind is an energy field that's all around us. And it's up to us how we use it, what we choose to focus on, what we choose to value, what we choose to see. It's up to us. Thoughts can represent the lower or bodily level of experience. Okay, so those are ego thoughts. Ego thoughts are thinking about that lower or bodily level of experience. Or the higher or spiritual level of experience. So our thoughts could go there too. So it's our choice. Are we going to focus on the lower, more bodily level experiences and thoughts? Are we going to focus on the higher experiences and thoughts? Higher level, higher frequency. It's up to us. One makes the physical and the other creates the spiritual. So the ego creates the physical and spirit creates the spiritual. And it's up to us to decide which one we're going to focus on. It's really as simple as that. I know things can seem, especially with this course, because it's so wordy and it can be confusing to understand. And this is the whole reason I'm making these videos, is because I want to break it down for you and explain it to you, because it's an extremely valuable teaching. It really just has the truth in it. It's just the pure truth told over and over and over and over again in hundreds of different ways, because our mind needs that to really get in there. And we need to learn through repetition. You know, I'm a teacher by profession, and I've been doing it for a very long time. And I can tell you for sure, this is how learning happens. It happens through repetition. Repetition. We have to form habits, just like these principles were telling us. When we covered 1 through 6 in the other video, it was telling us that we need to create a habit to choose these higher level thoughts so that we are in line with God's source creation frequency. It's our choice. So that's really our practice every single day, every single moment that we can remember of every single day. What am I choosing to think? What am I focusing on? What am I choosing to see? Now, most of us in this world just kind of take whatever comes at us and we interpret it with our ego, right? We're defensive, we're ready to protect ourselves, we're scared. You know, we've been beaten up a lot in this world. And that's the go-to, is to be an ego, to be defensive, to think we're separate, to think the world is being done to us. All of those things. This is the norm. And we have to put effort into switching that habit, into switching the way that we receive things. To first of all, understand that the world is not being done to us, it's being done by us. And what is the purpose of it? What are you trying to teach yourself? What are the lessons? And when I say yourself, because we're all one, right? We're all one. There's no one doing it to you. You have decided yourself to go on this adventure. You have decided yourself to temporarily believe that you are separate from God, to remember. Okay? So the purpose of the course is to help us remember the truth that we are one with God, we are one with one another, and miracles come from focusing on the truth, which is love, the frequency of love, God's source creation. And love doesn't mean the ego interpretation of like, oh, that means I need to go around the world just being so happy all the time and just spreading love. No, because that can get fake. Now, if someone really feels that way, then great, all the power to them. But most people are not walking around 24/7 just high on love, ready to give love. So don't feel defeated, okay? It's not a perfectionism thing. It's not a contest to see, who can give more love, or to scold yourself at the end of the day that I didn't do enough loving things, or I did something that was unloving. No. The purpose of all of that is just to observe and make changes. And that's all. To forgive. That's what the Course in Miracles is about. Forgiveness. It's about love, understanding that love is the only thing that's real, and about forgiving ourselves for forgetting that. That's it. All right. Till next time. Bye.